Hi, right. Well, today we'll discuss figures in the landscape. The figure itself and the head, they go 8.5 times into each other. The head goes 8.5 times into the body. You can push this for, let's say, like Marvel superhero type characters. That perfect image of man. That you can push it to like 9.5 to give it a really imposing figure size. But the general average human is eight to nine heads into the body. So we'll just do a little head. And people have necks, so don't forget that. And then let's say this is walking towards us. So you've got this hump of the back bit as well to get in. I'll show you in a minute when we do one from behind. Let's put a bit more strength in his legs. Oh, he's carrying it back, whatever. Another thing is, if you paint a figure stood there with its feet on, everything in detail, it's static, it's dead. The trick is to not paint bits of it. If you want them to get them in motion, stay away from drawing hands and feet, because the minute you put them in, it stops you in a track. It's just how it works in painting. If you look at all great works, they barely paint the bloody figures. But basically, what you're looking for is just the shoulder and the head and the actual size of it. But the shoulder and the head is what tells you it's a figure. It's not the hands, the feet, or anything. It's an absolute trap. As the minute you put them in, your figure will become dead. It becomes still. This feeling. It's got a feeling of animation about it. If I was to draw everything perfectly, it stopped dead in its tracks. So if you look, one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. There you go. This guy's 7.5. We can make him that bag a little bit stronger because it's faded. But there you go, that's what you're looking for. You want a smaller head on a bigger body. The minute, this is where you're going wrong with your figures. What most people do, they've got giant heads and they don't look right. That's not how they look. So I've put this little bit of putty rubber there. Basically, that's going to give us a light source for the rest of these pictures. So when it comes to painting figures, if you're going to put them together, you've got to fuse them together. So let's put 3 people walking together. And when you're doing figures, unless specifically you want 2 people, you're best putting them in odd numbers, because they're just, the rest, it's just better. So these are walking away from us. So again, right, we're going to talk about this hump. You see, I'll fuse that into that other person now. One in there.
Who are you talking to?
The camera, I'm doing a video for YouTube. So again, you know, you can see I've just fused them all together and they're all one thing now. Some darker colour. So this is your light source for shadows I'm talking about now. So if you was to take a ruler, look, and follow that light source, say, and you know, this ground is flat, it's coming towards us, eye level's here, so if you take that line from the foot and draw down from it, you know that's where the shadow, and the same with this one here. So if I go, and again, it's not touching the floor. You can't paint with a ruler though, so don't do this. That's just putting that on there to show you. So if I also take it from the top of his leg, I know that his legs, that his body shadow doesn't even start till it's off the page here. So there you go, simple shadows. Right, let's draw a group of people here. Some red. And we'll do some distance stuff as well. So, tiny little figure. He's a bit bigger. He's bigger still. He's even bigger still. And again, get stronger with pigment as well as you come closer towards the foreground. He's even bigger. And same with him. Oh, and there was a guy here as well. So we'll just, that little highlight will just be enough to tell this guy's shoulder there. Roughly like that. So again, same, you know, with the shadow. Once you pick up your light source in your painting, you just can't go wrong, as long as you follow it to the rules of perspective. Same in perspective drawing, it's the same thing. A lot of people just do not understand this. these legs are there, so they're going to be coming down from him. You know what I mean? You know, that's just the principle of it. I'm not saying you have to be brilliantly perfect at this, but as long as you follow this principle, you can't roughly go wrong with it, you know. Let's put some shadow on him as well. So I'm going to move the light source now, and I'm going to put it low. So it's here. Alright, let's do some more. Make it red. Three of them together. The distant ones. We'll have a really nice big one as well. And just a few little marks is enough. For, you know, if you don't paint everything in colour, look, you know, if you paint everything in colossal detail in the distance, your eyes are instantly going to snap to that. Then you have to paint everything else incredibly more detail to diminish that. So just a few little dots and dashes like this, once you've painted the focal point figure pieces or whatever it is in your painting, all this just starts to read, because you know it's just based on the principles of what rough shapes are and what they actually. This one's walking away, this one's coming towards us. And let's come up a little bit. You know, and arms come down. Think of yourself. You know, where do your arms come down to your hips? You know, that kind of thing. Right. This guy could be going into the picture as well. There you go, just it's enough to read for 2 or 3 legs. Let's just tidy this out up a little bit. So right, shadow. So, you know, we know that these are going to be basically the head. If you follow this, look, from the centre of his feet, there's the shadow line, and the head, you know, the end of the shadow is way off the end of the paper, so we know we're only painting his leg shadows. So, just a very nice, oh, probably my head's in the way. There we go, that's enough of them, so just follow that. So that's the principle of figures and shadows that accompany them. If you're going to paint groups of figures, join them together. It's an absolute must. If you're going to paint layers of figures, try not to do more than 3 layers because it just overcomplicates the scene and makes it jumbled. Painting on location and going out and studying like this, you've just seen how fast I've painted these. You can do these yourself in your sketchbook in no time. This is what I've done. This is how I've learned to do it, by going on the street. Stay away from hills, slopes and stuff to begin with. Just stay on a level eye field and make everybody the same height. And just make it easy for yourself, you know. Once you've mastered this, then you can start putting gradations into the landscape and things like that. So, but like I say, you only get out what you put in. If you don't put the miles in, how are you ever going to learn it, you know? So anyway, good luck and happy painting.